Actually, I'll pull up this story here from the Washington Post, and we'll talk about the censorship in real time. From the Washington Post, inside the civil rights campaign to get big tech to fight the big lie. For months, civil rights groups have unsuccessfully pleaded with big tech companies to bolster their election policies. Correction. A group of activists are lying about what individuals have said and what they believe in an effort to get their political rivals banned. And the problem is, no matter how many times they say it, YouTube looks at the content and goes, they're not breaking the rules. So right now, I have to wonder about us being shadow banned. And I think we are. The weird thing is our clips that we post from this show are doing really, really well. They're doing better than ever. And the live show seems to they're not sending out notifications for it. A lot of people try to justify this saying, oh, well, maybe you're posting too many clips. Now we're doing the exact same thing we've always done.
Yeah.
We do like 4 clips per day and then we do the show. They're not sharing the show. So if you want to help us fight back against the censorship, because there's nothing they can do, share the video, be the notification. That's the best we can do. Otherwise, they win. So here's what happens. I get hit up by some journalists from the Washington Post. We talked about it a little bit. They mentioned Jack Posobiec, they mentioned me, they mentioned a few other people, and they claim that we rose to prominence in 2022 pushing the big lie.
Incredible.
They email me, this is fascinating, and this woman is like, so you're included on a list of 77 individuals who have claimed Biden hasn't won fairly. And I was like, when did I claim Biden didn't win fairly? Like, pretty sure I'm constantly saying Biden did win. And been ragged on by Trump supporters for doing so. And the left made a video compilation of me mocking me for saying Biden won. So like, what's your point? She sends me a list of tweets. She's like, here's the tweets where you've called out fraud. And I'm like, okay. And the tweets are like, Elizabeth Holmes convicted of fraud, GoFundMe accused of fraud. And
Amazing.
I was like, what does this have to do with the election? And so they include me still in this story. And so what I think's happening is that YouTube, they're politically biased. What I think's happening is we keep getting these stories where they try and claim that we've broken the rules. But no matter what, if YouTube took us down claiming we did, I'd sue them in 2 seconds for breach of contract because I know the rules and we did not break them. So what can they do? In the background, they can shadow ban. They can do things like this to suppress the views, make sure people can't see it. And then they can try and appease the activists and be like, oh, look, we're doing everything we can to reduce misinformation. But they can't explicitly take action against us. It has to be subversive.
Well, and the other thing is, who do they choose to elevate, right? And it's not it's not just YouTube, but like if you look at the recommended videos or recommended podcasts in the Apple Podcast app or the stuff they're highlighting for that month. I mean, have you ever seen a conservative show up there?
Never.
No. Ever?
Never. Why? So people have pointed this out all the time. We regularly will, we had, like in the past month, 60-something thousand concurrent viewers. It's political off season. During the 2020 election, we were getting 150,000 concurrent viewers on the show, never trending. Like that should have been featured as their top trending live show or one of them, and they just would never do it. So like outright, they try and silo shows like this, content like this. Now that we're into the October surprise time frame, it's no surprise that we're now hearing people being like, I can't find the show. It's not popping up. Some people are saying it doesn't even appear on our page itself. That they have to go to timcast.com or type in the URL manually, youtube.com/timcastirl/live. And once again, if everybody who's watching just shares it and posts the link, there is nothing they can do to censor it. Shadow banning won't work then.
Yeah, YouTube essentially decides if people will ever see your content or not. And there's many different underhanded things that they could do to make sure people never see you. Even though you have a large subscription base, even though you're consistent, even though you have a schedule, it doesn't matter. I've been through it all throughout my entire YouTube career, and they could mess with you in the search. I remember I couldn't even find my YouTube channel. And I typed in, We Are Change. I typed in exact titles of videos that I did. Couldn't even find it. They do it through, of course, limiting notifications, demonetizations, downranking in the algorithm. And of course, who do they promote? CNN, CBS News, horrible track record, horrible organizations that I don't even call news organizations. They are propaganda organizations that have been caught multiple times lying on purpose, spreading disinformation, hurting people with the misinformation that, of course, they spread to the general public, and having a huge negative effect on the general public, pushing, of course, partisan bullcrap rather than, of course, actual news. And the people who do promote actual news, we get hurt by the algorithm, since, of course, there's this favoritism on YouTube, which elevates those voices that you were just mentioning.
So I'm curious what everyone's thoughts are on this, but what do you think is the answer to that? Because I mean, the way I see it is, you want to diversify, number one, and be available in multiple places, lots of places, hopefully across many different platforms. But I also think, like, you know, the conservative movement, you know, anybody who cares about liberty in this country should get invested in creating our own platforms and our own tech and do everything. Like like Mao said, let 1,000 flowers bloom, try a bunch of different things, but like also build your own ecosystem at some point for when the day comes where like no notifications go out for the show.